Donny Walker here. Don't only see you guys normally on a Sunday, but I had a order from my brother Johnny at the saw shop, at the Walker saw shop, saying, "Can you please have a 390 cylinder done for me tomorrow so you can put a 390 together for someone?" I don't know whose it is, but it doesn't matter. I do them all the same. 390s are one of our biggest used saws here on the coast for falling and big wood. Most people run 32 and 36-inch bars on them. Most guys run the still lightweight bars on the Huskies these days with the adapter plate from Canon. Or they'll run Samuras or Husky Light or the new Walker Light ones. But the still lights are the most favorable here and seem to stand up the best. So I'm just doing this 390 cylinder now, and another one for another build I'm doing. I thought I might as well do two at once. And yeah, I just wanted to show you how I do them. I have these old crankcases here, like for a 385 and or 390, sorry. 385 was the one before it with a smaller bore. So I case match them like I used to do with motocross engines. So I keep these case halves here, and I port the transfer ports so they're case matched there. I don't know if you can see that very well, but if you ever have a crankcase there and a cylinder, you can kind of tell where I grind it. It's on the front by the underneath the exhaust. I take out about a quarter inch of material here, then I blend this transfer port to match the case properly. I do it on both sides, obviously, to match it properly, just like I did with motocross engines years ago. And other models of saws. The 390, for a while there, we thought it wouldn't be a current model anymore, but it still is. The 390, we have quite a few left in stock. We ordered up as many as we could before they weren't available. We don't have any heated versions, but we have just regular versions. So some of the guys have found out around the coast here that we have them. Other dealerships don't. They might have a few, but most don't. We try to buy up as many as we can in case the distributor runs out, and then we kind of hoard them. But 390's been a great saw. The 385 before that was pretty much the same saw. The only difference is in the bore size and the carburation and the ignition. The 385 had the black ignition, which was the non-rev limiter, and the 390s have the 13,000 rev limiter ignition, the blue one, which I change when I modify them. So in the 390, that's what I modify. Ignition to the black one, because I set the RPM on these with no bar and chain. After I'm running them in on a tank of gas, I set them about 13.6, 13.8 around there. Port the muffler. I do the muffler for a work saw here on the coast, so it's compensation kind of, or forestry regulation, okay. I put the 288 sides on it, then with screens there, and make them so, and cut the little cover off on the one side here, and they work perfect. I don't put the pipes on for regular fallers here and whatnot, because if they're working in logging camps, they have to have forest safe stuff or WCB comply, which is the Workers' Compensation Board of British Columbia. So that's how I do them. Bigger dogs, muffler mod, ignition change, porting, set it up, and away you go. One of the best saws in the market here right now. Any other big saws people use in that CC range are 661 stills, which have had some problems, but overall they got great power, and they're a lot smoother than the predecessor of the 066 or the 660, which has brought a lot of people that were running Huskies over to still, because they finally came out with some spring mounts and made the saw smoother. That was the biggest thing. The anti-vibration on 066s and 660s were bad. Some guys could handle it, but other guys could not handle it. I remember doing ergonomic tests years ago with Husqvarna, and there was 30% more vibration in the back handle on the still versus the Husky, and the top handle was about 10%. So they've come a long way. They've done a great job. You know, like I'm not beating up on the 066 or the 660. I told you in a previous video with my 2100 there, the 2100 and 066 or 660, you want to call it, were the king of the woods, man, for here and the Pacific Northwest. So they had a great run. You know, I see some 066s that are actually, I got a 064 here right now and an 066 to modify for a couple of guys that are used, but hopefully they're okay shape, right, once I take them apart. So where was I getting at? Oh, just talking about big saws. Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with the 066. Yeah, it was one of the, I would say, over the Husky of the 2100 or 288, then the 385 came around. The 066 or 660 was the most reliable saw. It never nickel and dimed you. Huskies nickel and dime you with switches and wires and throttle cables. Little things, okay? Starter pulleys, stuff like that. But they were smooth, so the guys loved them. And it's made their hands better for their life activity as well. So, still did good. So like I say, some guys have switched over to stills because of that. Because they're smoother now. And they're a little bit more reliable. But overall, the 390 has been a great saw. There was some different weird vibration stuff on it, not in your hands, but on the saw itself. We had bearing problems, rods breaking, which was weird. I had a crank break in half a while ago. I think I might have showed you a video of that. The crank broke. I was like, wow, that's weird. Never see that. That was only one out of probably thousands we've sold, right? Or not thousands, but definitely hundreds and hundreds. Maybe close to 1,000 since the 390's been out. I guarantee we've probably sold 1,000, if not more. So, yeah, overall, for big saws these days, that's what people run. 390s, 661s, and really good fallers that don't need that torque and horsepower and want a lighter saw. They run in the stills either 500i, 462, the 461, and in Huskies they're running the 572, 372 X torque, or their old school 372s that they keep rebuilding just because they love them. So, yeah. So that's where I'm at, and I just wanted to show you that, how I do that. It's a windy, rainy night tonight. It's weird, man. Almost the last day of summer. Instantly changed into fall. We just went for a walk down by this beaver pond in this park area at my French Creek here. And yeah, the trails are covered with leaves already, man. It's like you just switch from summer to fall, or autumn, if you want to call it that. But it's nice. We need the rain. We need the coolness. It'd be nice if it was like Hawaii where it rained at night, and you don't have like heavy rain during the day, so the guys can actually work and not get all messed up. But you know, there's another thing. You know, the heavy rain we get here, we do live on the wet coast, we call it, and it's a huge rainforest. You guys have seen that like that show called Alive or whatever, eh, where those guys try to survive out in the wilderness. Well, they do that up coast here on the island, actually, in Quatsino Inlet, I think it is there. Yeah, good luck on there. I remember this one episode. Some people found the guy cruising into Winter Harbor, and he was at the coffee shop a couple times. They're like, "Hey, dude, weren't you got a dude on the show? You're not supposed to be over here." Anyways, off topic. Sorry. But now with the 390 is going to be faded out in our area because of EPA laws in Canada and the US. The 585 and the 592 is going to be the big saws here for the big wood, if the guys are still in big wood. Like there's a lot of guys that still are, and they need that horsepower with the long bar. The 585 has been really good. I got a few customers running them. They like them. They're smooth, they run good, they're carbureted, no electronic, except for they don't have heated handlebars. Kind of a bummer. Guys here, when it's raining, it's cold, heated handlebars are great. It helps your hand circulation, you get through the day better. The 592 has heated handlebars, so the guys that want those, I bought the 592s. And it's weird that the 592 is actually, if you look at the specs from Husky, is actually a lighter saw, like quarter pound or something, or half pound, but I don't know why. It's weird. Maybe it's something to do with the carburetor or electronics or something, man. Makes it heavier, but that's odd. Yeah, so that's what everyone's running around here, man. 390s, 661s, 462s, 461s, some old 046s, some old 66s. Yeah. Rain's beating down out there. Kind of nice, actually. It's been so hot, man, that it's just nice to have some coolness, and it's a little more relaxing. But now, in my underground saw shop here, I call it, I'm going to have to get set up for the cold weather. This window here that I have for my venting system here, I have a fan here that sucks out all the chips when I grind, and the you know, my polishing unit here where I deburr my ports and polish, all get sucked out with this fan into this carpentry type bag outside. I got to fill this window in and figure out a heat system down here. When I'm working, I don't mind the heat. You know, I don't really need that much heat. I just dress right for it, but I'll have to put maybe a little space heater down here and for the winter. We'll see how it goes. I'll keep you updated on that. But yeah, okay, I better finish this off. I still got some work to do. I've already done the transfers. Some case match. Now I'm going to port my exhaust to my measurements and then do my intake. These saws, like I told you with work saws, I don't go like too tight of a squish because of the carbon buildup that guys get in these camps. So I leave the gasket in on 390s. If I take them out, it's too tight. And I don't want to get into machining the bases with the gasket to make it better. I think it's just fine. It works fine. Every customer of mine that run 390s that I've done for them on the coast here do not complain, or anywhere else in the world. I build a good, reliable work saw, and that's how I do them. I can build racing saws. You've seen some of them. Maybe not that many yet, but I'm going to be doing a lot this winter. But my majority of my saws I do are all work saws. So they got to run right, keep OEM parts, keep the gas mileage good. You know, some guys do the intakes too much and they use too much fuel. But yeah, like I say, keep it simple. Keep it simple, do it right, reliable. A lot of people ask me, like, imported saws or modified saws, you know, are you're going to get the life out of them? I said, absolutely, man. You get more life out of a modified saw, and you run the saw right and keep a good sharp chain, you won't have a problem. I've had customers of mine with old saws, like old 372s, old 066s, old 046s, years and years of them. It's amazing, and they work like, you know, 200 days a year. You think how many revolutions that crankshaft's done. It's just amazing. This old saws are way better than the new ones. Yes, the new technology is good. It's cool. They can run at the beach the same RPMs. They do 2,000 feet up in the air. They compensate for all this stuff, but you know what? When they have problems, it sure makes the guys miserable. They walk up, you know, 1,000 feet up into the area to where they're using their saw and it doesn't run right, or it runs weird. They get kind of peed off, man. Where the old school ones, they just always work. Guys ask me a lot of times with tuning of the carburetors when I've modified saws, you know, do I need to change it different with my altitude? I'm like, nah, it should be okay. Majority of saws I've built for years, I normally set them just right. You know, they're going to be at their maximum RPM that you would use it down around the beach here, or in a landing, or I should say a logging sort. And if you do go following up 1,000 feet or so, it might run a little richer, but it'll be okay, man. You know, it's safe, right? So that's the way that works. but with the new ones, they self-adjust, which is cool. But when there's a problem, guys get peed off, right? So, anyways, it was really cool. Talked to Bucket earlier this morning. He did a live feed today, and I said hi to him on there. I was busy though. I didn't have time to sit around and watch that all day. I do like it though. I love watching him do that. Maybe one day I'll learn how to do that. Do a live feed somehow. I've been actually trying to get some loggers here. You know, I want to try to do some videos where I could sit down with an old time logger and talk about him and the history that he did and where he worked and what kind of situations he in, what kind of saws he ran, you know, stuff like that. But a lot of them are kind of shy. Not like me and Buckin. We just do what we do, right? So we'll see how that goes. I would like to do that. I've done it kind of in the past. You might have seen one of my previous videos was with Doug Munn or Andrew Lowers. I did it one day with him in the old shop at Johnny's. So maybe I can get back to doing that again. But I'm going to try to get this done. Go upstairs. Shelly's making some homemade pizza. You guys ever make that pizza? You know the old craft pizza boxes? It gives you the sauce, some crappy cheese, and the dough. And you make the dough and make a bunch of pizzas. We still do that, eh? It was like a kid thing we did, and we still do. There's nothing wrong with it, man. It's like making your own pizza, and you put whatever you want on it. And it's just good tasting, eh? So that's what we're having tonight. And we'll just relax. Shelly's got to go into town and work at the daycare in Nanaimo. And I'm going to go and work for Johnny for 2 days. And take care of some stuff for you people out there. So, hope you all had a good weekend. Mine's going to be over here soon. So, keep your saw into it, stick in the ice, rubber in the road. Check out the walkersawshop.com online store. And we'll get these saws all done for you. I got lots right now. Check it out. I got some over there. I don't like to take them apart and have them sit around. Some over there do a 661. I got 562. Old 390, 2100, 395. Here I got all sorts of stuff. I got 394, 372s, 390s, 346. I love those. No 044, no 064, 066. Yeah. And my poor buddy Hud dropped a tree on one of his over there and kind of crushed it, so I think it's kind of toast. But he's going to bring me a couple boxes of old saws, and I'll take them down to the Johnny's, and Sam can put them together there and build them another good saw. So yeah, anyways, I better get at her. Have a great day. Love you all out there. Bye.